Welcome back, everyone, to the Deep Dive. We love to go deep on all things AI, and today we're exploring something I know a lot of you are really into,
Yeah,
mental reprogramming for success, using AIs in neuroscience.
it's super fascinating stuff, right? Where cutting-edge technology meets our brains. I
Exactly.
mean, there's just so much potential there.
For this deep dive, we're looking at an episode of the AI Mastery with Ennis podcast. Now, get this, they told this really interesting story about this entrepreneur, Sarah, who used AI to, completely transform her business.
Oh, wow.
You're not going to believe how she overcame serious self-doubt using these new AI tools.
I've heard about this. People are getting amazing results with these things.
Okay, so tell me more about Sarah. I know the podcast mentioned she was dealing with a ton of self-doubt, right?
Yeah, she was really struggling. Like every time she tried to grow her business, there was this inner voice just holding her back.
Oh, I can relate to that.
I think a lot of people can.
Yeah, that feeling like it stops you from making decisions or taking risks.
Totally. It can really limit your success.
So how did she end up using AI to overcome this? What did these AI-powered mindset coaching tools actually do for her?
Okay, imagine for a second that your brain is like a network of roads.
Hmm.
Like every time you think a thought or do something, you're basically driving down one of those roads.
Okay.
And the more you travel that road,
The more familiar it becomes.
yeah, it gets more defined, more ingrained.
Like a dirt road turning into a paved highway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Sarah's self-doubt, it was like a super well-worn path in her brain.
Okay, so these AI tools, they helped her identify those negative thought patterns,
Kind of like rerouting the traffic,
yeah, paving a new road that leads to something
to a
better.
more positive, productive destination.
So how does AI actually do that rerouting? Is it like having a GPS for your brain?
It's similar in a way. You've heard of neurofeedback apps, right? They use sensors to track your brain activity, kind of like a fitness tracker, but for your mind. They can tell when you're slipping into those negative thought patterns, and they alert you, like right then and there.
Oh, wow. So it's like a little alarm bell going off in your head, like, hey, wrong road.
Exactly. And the more you practice recognizing those patterns and interrupting them,
Those old roads get less traveled.
weaker, less defined.
So it's not just about stopping the negative thoughts. It's also about making those new positive pathways, right?
Absolutely. And that's a perfect segue to talk about
Yeah.
how our brains actually change and adapt. This whole thing is thanks to something called neuroplasticity.
Ah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it basically means our brains are constantly rewiring themselves throughout our entire lives.
So even though those negative pathways might be super ingrained,
Right.
we can still create new ones.
Exactly. And that's where AI comes in big time to speed up that process.
Makes sense.
In Sarah's case, those AI mindset tools didn't just help her stop the self-doubt. They also gave her something called personalized affirmations.
Personalized affirmations. Now I'm curious, how do those work?
So think of it like this: personalized affirmations are like positive statements that are tailored to target those specific areas where you want to improve.
What?
Sarah's AI tool, it would have analyzed her goals, like what she wanted to achieve, and also her mindset, where she was at mentally, and used all that to craft these affirmations that really resonated with her.
And so it wasn't just using generic affirmations everyone can find online.
Right, exactly. It was creating ones that were unique to her situation, like a custom-made roadmap to success.
Wow, that's so cool.
And by repeating these personalized affirmations regularly, Sarah was essentially reinforcing those new positive pathways in her brain.
Makes sense. The more you think something, the stronger that connection becomes.
Exactly. And here's the thing. Our brains, they don't necessarily distinguish between what's real and what we vividly imagine.
So if she repeats these affirmations enough, her brain starts to accept them as true.
Yeah, like planting seeds in the garden of your mind.
I like that analogy.
With consistent nurturing those seeds, they grow into these strong beliefs that really support your goals.
So those affirmations helped rewire her thinking, and that led to real changes in her business.
Absolutely. As those positive pathways became stronger, her self-doubt weakened and she was able to make bolder decisions, to, take more risks.
The AI Mastery with Ours episode also talked about visualization
Yes.
and how AI can be used to make it even more powerful.
Right.
I know you're a big believer in visualization,
Oh, huge.
so I'm excited to hear your take on this.
Well, visualization, it's such a powerful technique, right?
Yeah.
It goes hand in hand with affirmations because when you vividly imagine yourself achieving your goals,
Yeah.
you're actually activating the same neural pathways as if you were really experiencing it.
So it's almost like tricking your brain into believing it's already happened.
Exactly. And that's where AI can come in and make visualization even more effective.
How so?
With AI-generated imagery, you can create these incredibly realistic simulations that just totally immerse you in the experience.
Oh, wow.
Imagine Sarah using an AI tool to visualize herself confidently pitching her business idea to investors.
Right.
She can see the room, she can hear the applause, she can feel the excitement of closing that deal.
So she's not just imagining it, she's practically living it.
Right, and that's super powerful.
So by combining visualization with those personalized affirmations, she was basically rewiring her brain for success on multiple levels.
Absolutely. And the best part is these AI tools are becoming more and more accessible every day.
It's like having a personal development coach right there in your pocket.
Exactly.
Our listeners are always looking for practical advice, things they can actually do.
Right.
So beyond affirmations and visualizations, what are some other concrete steps people can take to reprogram their minds for success?
One of the most effective strategies is focusing on habit formation. Yeah, our habits, they're essentially the automated programs running in the background of our minds.
Interesting.
So if we can change our habits, we can change our lives.
I can see that.
And you know what? AI can be a real game changer in this area too.
Oh, yeah. How so?
AI-powered habit tracking apps.
I've seen those around.
They're so sophisticated these days.
What makes them so special?
Well, they go way beyond just reminding you to drink water or go for a walk.
I see.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Okay.
First of all, they provide personalized feedback.
Okay.
They track your progress, they analyze your patterns, and they give you these insights into your habits that you might not even be aware of.
Like a personal data analyst for your behavior.
Exactly.
But how does that actually translate into change?
That's where the AI comes in. These apps use algorithms to provide tailored suggestions and strategies based on your unique data.
So it's like a personalized coach.
Precisely.
That's pretty amazing.
Right. It's like having a coach who knows you inside and out.
So they're not just tracking your habits, they're actually helping you improve them.
Exactly.
So for example, how would this work for someone like Sarah, our entrepreneur?
Okay, let's say Sarah is trying to build the habit of writing in a gratitude journal every night.
Makes sense.
So she sets this goal in her AI habit tracking app.
Okay.
Now, instead of just sending her a generic reminder, the app goes a step further. It analyzes her daily routine and suggests the ideal time for her to incorporate this new habit.
So it's not just a reminder, it's helping her fit it into her life.
Exactly. It's all about making it as easy as possible for her to succeed.
I like that.
And that's not all. Remember the concept of habit stacking we talked about earlier?
Linking a new habit to one you already do to make it stick.
Right, exactly. So let's say Sarah, she already has this solid habit of making herself a cup of herbal tea every evening before bed.
Right.
The app, it might suggest, hey Sarah, why not try stacking your gratitude journaling with your tea time? You know, after you make your tea, just take like 5 minutes, reflect, and write in your journal.
Oh, I see. So it's not just reminding her, it's actually giving her specific ideas for how to make it work.
Exactly. It's all about, integrating it into her routine.
Making it seamless.
Yeah, and piggybacking on that existing neural pathway.
Smart.
And to make it even easier, the app could send her a little motivational message right at that moment from like a virtual coach.
Oh, wow.
Something like, take a few deep breaths, enjoy your tea, and let those grateful thoughts flow.
It's like having a little cheerleader in your pocket.
Exactly. And there's more. A lot of these apps are using things like gamification,
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
where you can earn points or rewards for sticking to your habits. And they can even connect you with other people who are working on similar things, for support and accountability.
So it's like you've got this whole team backing you up.
Exactly. And as you start to succeed with these smaller habits, you build momentum, you get more confident, and that makes it easier to tackle those bigger challenges.
That makes sense. So all those well-worn pathways of self-doubt that Sarah had, as she practices these new habits.
They start to fade away.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground today. AI tools that help you interrupt those negative patterns, create personalized affirmations, boost your visualizations, and build better habits. That's incredible.
It is. And I think the biggest takeaway for everyone listening is that you have way more control over your mind than you might think.
I like that.
You're not stuck with the thoughts or beliefs or habits you've had in the past.
We can change.
With the right tools and a little bit of effort, you can literally reprogram your mind for success.
It's pretty empowering to know that we can actually change our brains, even as adults.
It is. And that's the amazing thing about neuroplasticity, right? Our brains are always adapting, evolving based on what we do, what we experience.
Every thought we think, Every action we take,
It's all shaping our brains.
that's a pretty powerful thought. It makes you realize that even those small changes can have a huge impact over time.
Exactly. And that's why it's so important to be mindful of what you're putting into your mind.
What we're feeding it.
Are you surrounding yourself with positivity? Are you challenging your brain? Are your habits supporting your goals?
It's all about making those choices that align with the person you want to be.
Exactly. And the more you do that, the more you're going to reinforce those pathways that lead to success and fulfillment.
So to everyone listening out there, as you go about your day-to-day, think about this incredible power you have to shape your own mind. Think about what you've learned today. Is there a habit you want to reprogram for success? Maybe something you want to start doing, or maybe something you want to stop. Whatever it is, remember you've got the tools, and with a little effort, you can make positive changes that will impact every single area of your life.